Yes. So we said hosting is the same as renting a server, like it's the same terms, but it's the same meaning but different terms. So in this case, we see Cpanel is a tool, a software which is used to manage or to simplify the process of hosting a website. So by having a Cpanel, it becomes easier for you to interact with the server, whereby you can host your website and your website can go online. So I want to take you through a Cpanel, a live Cpanel, so that you can see how a Cpanel looks like. So I want to log into one of my websites Cpanel, so that we can go through it. So you get a Cpanel when you buy a domain and you get hosting space. So you can get a Cpanel is equivalent of server resources that you have. So to access them, you must go through a Cpanel account. So I'm sharing my screen, just a minute. I want to share my screen so that we can see how a Cpanel looks like. So a Cpanel might look different depending on the version or the update, but the work is the same for each section. So I want to share my screen now. Yes, so as you can see, this is one of my Cpanel account. And on this Cpanel, we can see different tools that we can use to manage our website files. So you can see on the top here, we have email, you have jet backup, files, databases, domains, metrics, security, software, advanced tools here, preference. So it's just a lot of tools. You don't have to use all of them, but there are ones that are very important and crucial for your web development journey. And as Austin is also concerned, so we start with the first one. So the first one is email. So you toggle this box. So on the email, you can create a business email here. Any business email that you want to be associated with your domain name, you come here and you create it. So you click email accounts. So these are normal email settings, just the way a Gmail looks like or Outlook looks like. So as you can see, I have one email on this account, which is info. If I want to create another one, I just click create here. Then I'll be able to add the name. I choose the domain. Of course, it is the Tech Mtaani. Then I'll be able to choose the username. So on the username, you just type the username you want. If it is contact at the domain name, you just write the first part. The other one, as you can see, it will be auto-completed for you. So the set password now. So I'll set the password. I'll use one of my passwords to create this. Awesome. So I think it's better now. So I'll create this. So that is how you just create a business email. I can connect this email to any email service provider like Gmail or Outlook, and I can be able to access my emails via there. Also, I can check my emails right here. I don't have to log in through that. I can just check the email right here. Click check email. Wait for it to load. Don't worry about this warning. Just click open here, open. And you will just see your emails normally here, just the way you see them. So these are emails that are associated with this account. So you can just see it from here. So that's how you check your emails and also create your email. So that's how you do it. So that section, the first part is on email accounts. Very important section. So the first part is email. So the other ones are settings associated with the email, forwarders, email routing, autoresponders. You want to set this, you can just click these sections and see what it entails. But you don't have even to touch this for the emails to work. You just need the email account section. It is enough for you. So the Jet backup, I will not touch it. It is not of any importance to us because it is not even available to many cPanel softwares. So it's not a common thing or an important feature. So I'll jump to files. So files is equivalent of file manager. In some versions of cPanel, because I think this theme is Jupyter, I can change it to Paper Lantern here. You will see the design change. Just a minute, you will see it change. So the version that will change to, it is the normal one that people are used to. Jupyter is the new version of cPanel. So you see, it is the same cPanel, but different design now because I've changed the design, the version. There are only two versions. So now you can see it is the same. I have on top, I have email, then there is files here. So it is the same, you just change the design, but most cPanel nowadays, they prefer you go with the Jupyter version. It is the modern one. I don't know why, but they will still serve the same purpose. You can, on the side here, you can see the disk usage. I have like 20 GB on this, then I've used only 2.1. The bandwidth is still huge. I have a lot of space for the bandwidth. Bandwidth is when means that the domain is not easy for you to exceed the traffic. The traffic cannot exceed the server resources because the bandwidth is set to extend to 488 GB, which is huge. So what was I saying? I come here on files. This is file manager. So as you can see here, there is file manager. So on the file manager, there are other important things here. So the first part that is important is file manager. Then we'll come to backup and backup wizard. So for the file manager, this is where you see all your files. Just the way you have a file manager on your computer or mobile phone. You have file manager. So this is where we store all our website files. The backup is when we want to generate a backup. You want to make a copy of your website files. You come to backup wizard. Let's check file manager. This is file manager that we will be viewing in a few seconds. It is loading. Good. So this is the file manager. To see your files for your main domain, you click public HTML. Public HTML. Just click it, it will open the files on the center here. So these are your website files. So this is the file manager. If you want to edit your files, you just do it from here. After you click it, there's an option to edit. When you right click, there's an option to download, view, edit, move, copy, rename, and other stuffs. So that is file manager. So that's where you store your website files. So if you buy a domain today and you have your website files, no matter what programming language you are using, you will come to File Manager and you upload. So on the File Manager, there are different options here. Let's check again. So on the first, there is File. You can create new file. There is Folder. The normal folder, you can just create new folder. You can upload. And when you have selected, when you have opened files, there is Copy. When you have selected a file, you can just copy, move, upload, download, delete. So you can download for a file. You can delete, you can restore, name, edit, permissions, view, extract, compress. So you can do everything right here with this file manager. Very powerful. So it's very important, the file manager part. So we come here to, I said backup. We can see backup and also backup wizard. It is the same thing. It's only the interface is a little bit different for each. So on the backup here, you see we can full backup. A full backup creates an archive of all your website files and configuration. So you can download a full account backup, download everything. So to download everything, it means you download the database file and the website files plus the emails. So you'll be downloading everything. But if you don't want to download everything, there are other options to do backup. You can go to File Manager and compress the files. Then you download the whole file. So that is one way. You need the emails. So that was backup. So let's check backup wizard. So backup wizard, you see the interface is different, but it's the same thing. There's an option to backup and restore. If your mic is on, please mute yourself. I don't know who, but guys, check your mic. If it is on, mute yourself to avoid the noise. So here you have two options on the backup wizard. You have an option to backup and restore. So to restore is if you have the original files and now you have a new cPanel, you can just click restore. And then you will see the option here. You choose select restore type. If it is only home directory, like you want all the files, you come here, restore, you choose the file, then you upload. So you choose, then you upload. In that case, you will have your files uploaded to a new cPanel, and you can get your website now back to normal on a different cPanel. So we move to database. So as you know, file manager is one side, database is one side. So database, it stores all the changes that you make on the website. So every website must have a database. It's very important. It keeps a record of your changes. So if you save something today, maybe you edit some files and you make a change. So the database will record that change. And when you try to view the site, it will be updated. So it is very important for the database. So that on the database, there are a lot of important tools here. You have PHP-MyAdmin, you have MySQL database. This is where you create a new database. So you open it and you just click create database. It's very easy. As we read, that the interface is very easy. So you write the name here, then you click create. Then your database will be added successfully. So as you can see, I have other databases on this. So it's very easy to have the database. You just create it. But in most cases, when you are installing WordPress on this cPanel, it creates a a new database automatically for you. So you don't even interact with it. But because we'll be using a different server, which will be local to everyone, meaning that it will not be online, but everyone can access it using their computer. So in that case, you will have to create your database. So it's the best way to learn, because by using a local server, it means that you will do a lot of things on your own. And in that case, you will learn a lot, because you will be doing a lot of things on your own. And like when we will be working on the Cpanel here, whereby a lot of things will be generated for automatically without you even noticing. So it is better to learn with something where you can do everything on your own. So at least when they work on the back end, you know what is happening. So that is the database. You create your database on the database area. On the domains here, you can see the domains that you have. You can also add subdomains. So subdomains is a child of a domain. It will have the parent name and also its name. So here you can see the domains that I have, both the subdomains and the main domain. You see the main domain is this one, but I also have the other different subdomains on this Cpanel account. So I have it. And now, so here is where you confirm the domain that you have. Of course, if you open this Cpanel, you are sure the domain you are using. But if in that case you want to also add subdomain, as I said, subdomain should inherit the name of the domain. You see the domain will be this. So the first part is the domain that we give. For instance, you can see the subdomains that I have are here. You see I have digital dot, the domain name, the main domain name. I have shop dot, the main domain name. Test dot, the domain name. So I have a lot of domains, subdomains, but only one domain. So that is what happens when you have subdomains. You just create them, but you must confirm with the hosting company how many allocation they are giving you for the subdomains. Because if you are not paying premium, or let's say you are their package that they have given you does not come with any single subdomain, you will not be able to create. Even if you can see it, you will not be able to create it. So it's something you should confirm with your hosting provider to know what resources they are giving you. If you know what they are giving you, it will be easier for you to know what to expect and what you'll be working with. Do you have any question from the participants? Anyone? Okay, if you have any question,
So
just
for premium, Patrick,
yes.
like averagely is how much a month or a year?
It is usually done yearly by most local hosting companies. So for if you want like good resources, I think most companies will charge from 4,000 to 6,000 a year, which I think is also better, keeping in mind that you only pay it annually and your website will be online all through. So it should be, I think, 4 to 8,000. Others charge 10,000. But the good thing is to confirm if you are renewing both the hosting and the domain, or is it hosting alone. But for the normal ones, whereby you are not getting any subdomain, but you will get the domain, you will get from 2,500 for the hosting alone. And I think that is fair if you are not doing much. You are only getting started and you want to have a website to showcase online. And by the way, if you need these hosting resources after the class, don't worry, I can just provide with them with a company that can sort you. So Don't worry. I think from 2,500 going up, I think should be able to serve you for a normal site whereby you have the domain, but you can't create subdomain. You want, but the domain that you buy will have the sufficient space. Yeah, so that's it. So here on the domains, you can also see there are things like zone editor. For now, they might seem complex, but they are also important on your domain, especially when you are working with business emails. There are some settings you will need to configure here if they are not configured automatically by the cPanel. But in most cases, the cPanel handles that for you. Your work is just to update it. So when you open, you will see a lot of details here. It is a table containing a lot of details. So the domain is here, you just click manage. So on you will see this table. So there are things like MX, CNAME. So these are types of records. And these records are also important, especially for business email and also for your domain. So in most cases, some are just populated for you for free, but if your email encounters a problem, you'll have to add them manually, of which by that time you will have known better, because for now we can't get it. We won't finish going through everything. So here on the metric is not so important. We will skip it. So another important tool that is present in most cases is the software part. On the software, you can see the software configuration for cPanel. For instance, on top here, I will start with WordPress Manager. So I can just click this WordPress Manager and install a fresh WordPress installation to any domain that is available here. And if I do install a fresh one, I will rewrite the old one. So the old one will be deleted. So for instance, you see, these are current installations of the subdomains that are available on this cPanel account. So to install, just click install. So this is how you do it on a cPanel. You choose the subdomain you want. If it is a domain, you choose here. Most cases it is good to go with the secure protocol. We saw this protocol yesterday, HTTP, Hypertext Transfer Protocol, for transfer of data. So you need something which has an S, which is secure, like this one. Choose the domain if it is empty. For now, they have files, so I won't do it, but this is what you should do. So if this is the domain, you go with it. You scroll down here. You put the details here for the username and password. You also connect it with any email, be it a Gmail or any email or a Yahoo Outlook, any email that you'll be using as an admin email to either control the roles on the website. You connect it here, then you just proceed and click install. So by doing that, you won't even see the database, but the database is being done automatically for you. But if you want to give it a unique name, you just click advanced options here. So you will see the database name. So indeed, you can put the database name yourself, the table prefix for the database tables that will be populated by the WordPress automatically. You don't have to do all this. So you can just minimize. It will create it for you because you don't need even a unique name. You just need to have a functional database. Then you go ahead and install. Then you'll have a fresh installation of WordPress, and that should take you to a WordPress dashboard where you can start customizing and creating your website. So that is a very important feature in cPanel. It is called WordPress or Softaculous. It will always bear a name starting with WordPress and stuff. So it is WordPress Manager by Softaculous, or you can just locate it and let's check Softaculous app installer. So you can still see it here. It is here. There are a lot of tools you can use to connect it to your Cpanel, depending on what you want to work with. So it doesn't mean that WordPress is going to be used only for Cpanel. You can even use Joomla, Wimsys, Xampp. So these are different tools for building different products, and also others for websites. So also these are tools to update your PHP settings, because the WordPress is a language, is a software created on PHP programming language. If you try to make a search on PHP, it is a very famous backend programming language. It is used to build servers. It's a very strong language. So it's very important. So these are settings to configure your PHP settings in case there's an error or there's a need to do that. So if you also need to PHP, because PHP version keeps on upgrading with time to match the new server speeds and settings, you will come just to here, select PHP version and update the PHP version to the latest one, so that your WordPress can work with that, because every new WordPress version requires also a fresh, not only a fresh, but not so old PHP version, because of compatibility. Just the way we have nowadays, we have screens, and when you try to use the software they are using on the old TVs that were huge, it will not work. So it's something called compatibility. So the version, you can see it is native PHP 7.4. I can upgrade to the latest one, but you just leave it to the one that is stable. So above 7.4 is stable, it's just okay. But below 7, these are not supported, so you don't have to use it. So if you need it, you just change it to another one, then it will save automatically. So you click the version, then you click the domain, it will match. So it will be, so let's say for this native 7.4, what if I choose 8? 8. So when you choose 8 and apply, it will update to all of these versions, all these subdomains, so that they can update to the latest one. So I can still apply because I know it is modern. It is also a good thing to use the latest PHP version, not the sole latest, because some software are still on testing mode. But now you can see the version has upgraded to 8.0, which is also stable. So I can leave it like that. So that is good. So that was on PHP version. It's very important. So when you're installing some themes, we will see what themes are. It will tell you that it requires a certain PHP version, and you must match it in order for you to be able to enjoy all the resources of that theme. So up to that, those are the main important tools on Cpanel. They are very important, but also the others I've not touched, because Also, on my experience, I've never interacted with them, like doing something. So I deem them not so important, but I believe they might serve their work. Or maybe something like this for the themes, I don't interact with it right here. There's a certain place I usually interact with it. So that explains why you don't have to touch everything. Yeah, so also the Softaculous app installer, it is the same place as the one we had gone to. It is the same as the Softaculous app installer here. So it is the same. You can see the softwares you can use, all these softwares you can use. You can install on the Cpanel, they are supported, and you can be able to work properly. Yes. So that was our tour on Cpanel account. Do you have any question on Cpanel? Any question? Okay. So let's take a 5 minutes break. We come at 8:25 so that we can proceed. We come at 8:25. So let's take tea. I think it's called, so that you can psych yourself up. Awesome. So guys, are we back? So we continue now. We continue. So that was tour on Cpanel. We have seen what is a Cpanel and this the tools that are available on Cpanel and how to use some of them. Uh-huh. Just, mhm. So now we proceed. We proceed now. So after the Cpanel, we want to see WordPress. So let's see how a WordPress dashboard looks like. When I say dashboard, is also the same as admin dashboard. So it is like the back end of the application where you can be able to create and launch new websites. So I will log into one of my my account. So I'm sharing how you can log into your WordPress dashboard. So you will see how you can log in. So this is the website. This is the website. It is a blog. It's a blog on WordPress. You can get a lot of help from this blog. It has published a lot of resources on WordPress. You can learn a lot on the. If you have any questions, maybe like let's see what they talk about here. I'm also a contributor to this blog. So let's see. I want to push this up. So let's see how to guides. So you can see there's how to add social media icons in top bar in a WordPress page, how to speed up a WordPress website. So these are some of the topics that are discussed on this blog. There's a lot of content on this, how to easily add icon fonts in your WordPress theme. So after you start working with WordPress, you can interact with this to learn more from it. Any question? You have a question from one of you? All right. Let's try to mute ourselves unless we have a question. So now, yes. So I was just taking you through this site. So now, so in this case, now we want to log into the admin. You would write wp-admin, then you hit enter. After you hit enter, you can be able to log into your admin dashboard and see your backend. So you give it some time to load. It should load and finish within a short period. So this is the dashboard. You can see it has a lot of tools simply because the theme I'm using came with other tools outside of WordPress. So it is incorporated together on the dashboard, and you can just view and interact with each element freely. Also, other tools are as a result of plugin. So we'll see. So let's start right away. So if you want a website like this, you must first start by installing WordPress in your cPanel or in your localhost. So in localhost, we will be using a server called Xampp. It is a localhost server which you can use to create website. So the only downside about it is you can't share online, but you can do everything else. You can't share the project online because you can only be viewing it on your computer alone. That's why it has the name of local server or local host, because you can only view it on that computer alone, not on any other computer. You can't share with your friend on the internet. You can't even view it on the mobile, but you can make all the changes where the server is located. That is in your computer. So if another person has the same software, you must transfer the files to the computer of the other person so that you can be able to view it. So you can only view it on your machine. So the great thing about it is it doesn't, if we are accessing the server at the same time, we can't deplete the server resources because we are working on our own computer. So we are utilizing the computer speed. So we are not using the same computer. So there is no way we will interfere with each other, and we will not mess up the speed or anything. So I want to start with a theme. So when you hear theme in regards to WordPress, just know it is a design that is already created. Your work is to take it and customize it to your own liking. So these are some of themes. So a theme is, you can see it is like a complete design. So your work is just to take it and you customize it to your own liking. You can even take a theme and you discover that you don't like anything that it came with. So you decide to delete everything, but you retain the theme, but you will be creating now your own sections alone. Like you don't rely on the design that it came with. So a theme is just like a design. So when you hear a theme, just know it is a design. So for instance, this is the current theme I'm using to create this particular blog. So you have seen now my blog. This blog is organized. So you can also view another theme that is available. But then in WordPress there are a lot of free themes. You don't even have to buy a theme if you know how to develop a website on WordPress properly. You don't need even to mind about a theme. You just find one theme and you start working on it. You can share the localhost WordPress site for critics using tunnels, e.g. Grok. So Mike Otieno has an idea on how to go through sharing your WordPress website if you are working on the project. That is if you don't have the domain. So he will tell us about it. So on the theme, you can just live preview here. So we will live preview here to see the design of the theme before we go ahead and install it, activate it. So there is usually a very important a button which is called live preview. You just live preview without installing, so that you can see what you can get if you go ahead and activate this particular theme. So you just preview without activating. Is like window shopping. You just see the clothes, but you are not buying. You just want to see if they can fit you properly. So it's the same case with the live previewing. So it is showing us that it can be like this when we activate it. So it is still loading. I don't know if it can be. So it is utilizing our initial design to show us that it can do better. So that is how you live preview. So if you are satisfied that it will be good, you can just activate. But this is only important when you have already created a design. Like for instance, me, I have the website is already up, so I'm just checking if another theme can bring out a better design than what I have. But if your website is completely empty, yes, you can preview it to see what you are in for, so that you are prepared. But the best way you can just if the theme you are getting, because when you live preview, yeah, you don't view all the tools. But if it is a premium theme, you have bought it, there are options to live preview before you even buy. So it shows you how the theme will look like, because these designs are also sold. If you need like sophisticated design, but you can also create your own sophisticated designs using free themes. Like Ocean WP is a free theme. We will be using this a lot. It's a free theme, and you can create any website using the free theme, because the good thing is you can just remove all the content that is there easily, and you start from scratch using it. You don't have even to get a premium theme to create a stunning website. But most people do buy premium themes when they are starting out because of some tools, and also because they feel like they can't create something better. So they just need a premium theme that is already created specifically for a certain industry. So they just take it and replace the detail. But of course, they are going to be spending money for that. But if you become an expert, you will not concentrate on buying premium themes. You will be building website using free themes, and people will think that the website has spent a lot of money on your side. It will be a lot because you are using your skills, but in terms of money, you will just be spending time, not money. So these are themes. So themes are designs. Don't get confused. It's not something broad. So themes are designs, and themes are the starting point of WordPress. You have the WordPress software, yes. Now what next? You need a design to start working. You can get it here, right here. So you just click add new. So on the add new, you will see a lot of themes. So as I said, these themes are 100% free, but they don't come with a lot of features and designs. But if you know what you are doing, you can just create any design you want using them. Yeah, so the most famous free themes, one is GeneratePress, another one is Ocean WP. I've been using Ocean WP and Neve for some time now, and I think it's just good. It's good to get an empty theme and generate your own designs. It feels good to create something with your hands and brain rather than just taking a full thing that is created and using it. The downside of it will be failing in most cases. But when you create something from scratch, like using the free themes, you can't encounter errors because you are the one creating it and publishing the changes properly. And if maybe a problem comes up in future, you know where to sort it without much work. So another thing on the dashboard is plugins. So the plugins take it as additional tools to supplement the design of theme. So we said point one, after you install, you need a theme. After theme, you need plugin. So plugin, this is what I was saying yesterday. Plugins are third-party software which you integrate into your project to extend the purpose and the functionality of your project. So like for instance, I need a, let's see what I have here. I need a form to collect newsletters. So I just utilize a third-party software. If I would, if I wanted, I could have created it using HTML because it's only like few lines of code to get a form. But because the form also has some animations, like transitions, whereby it is popping up after a few minutes, I I say there's no need, or maybe if I wanted, maybe I could do that. But I have the option to use a tool which can serve me right away. So I just decide to go with one of the plugins. So that is the importance of plugins. So these are third-party softwares that extend the work of WordPress theme that you have chosen. There are a lot of plugins available on the market. Many of them are premium and also many of them are free. So plugins are additional tools. So for instance, if you also want there's a case I gave yesterday. If you need to have WhatsApp, you want to integrate WhatsApp into your website, you don't have to create the WhatsApp application on your own. If you want it maybe for practice or for your own project, you can do that. But WhatsApp is already there. So what's the need of creating another WhatsApp? So you just integrate a third-party software and you are good to go. It saves you time and also other resources. So now I think at least you get the whole idea of what a plugin is. So I can say now the main important concept on WordPress is one is theme, second is plugin. So after you get a theme, which we'll do in the, I think tomorrow, yes, tomorrow. Tomorrow we'll start working with the designing now and developing. So that now we can see how to utilize this dashboard, these admin area clearly. So now for the time remaining, I want to show you which softwares we need to start working with so that we can enjoy this class more. So the first software will be Xampp. So just search Xampp download. Any machine, even if you have Linux, MacBook, Windows, just click the first site here. It is called download Xampp. The actual domain name is apachefriends.org. So I'm sharing this link on the chat. You should download right now. It takes some time so that by tomorrow you have already activated it. One thing before you install this software, and I ask you to listen to this carefully to avoid software conflict. If you have Skype installed in your machine, please uninstall it before you go ahead with installing Xampp to avoid conflict. What conflict am I talking about? In computers, there is something called port. Port is like a root, and it happens that Skype and Xampp uses the same port number. So unless you know how to interfere with that and change it, I would advise you to first uninstall Skype for the time being, so that you can go ahead and install Xampp. So if you refuse to do that and go ahead, you will encounter challenges and they will be hard for me to solve, because it is obvious that you are using the same software, which has the not the same different software, but using the same port number. So just make a search, try to go to control panel on your computer, try to establish if you have Skype or not, then go ahead and install. You can download, everyone can download. Downloading doesn't have a challenge, but I mean when you are ready now to install, confirm, double check if you have Skype installed and remove it for the purpose of your mental peace. So when you open this, so the link is on the chat for those who don't want to make a Google search. So you open this website. The website is Apache Friends. I don't pronounce the other characters before the domain name. So I usually go with the domain name itself. So it's apachefriends.org. So in the first screen here that we see, it is Xampp for Windows. So if you have a Windows machine, download any version here. Don't let me choose for you. Just go with anyone that your hand lands on. But I would advise you to go with the first and second one. Don't go with the later one, the 8.2 one. Try to go with the already tested resources. So 8.0, 8.1 should do. But if you feel you want also the third one, no problem. Just go with any. If you have Linux, your version is here. Go with the version here. There's a version for, you see, version for Linux users. If you have Mac OS, there's also a version for you. So download. After you download, we all know how to install softwares. This is an advanced class. So go ahead and install that software. There's no complex process on the installing. You just click the next button up to the end. Just your work will be like answering. You click the next button, next, up to where you see finish. Then you should be good to go. Yes, Hope is asking, is WAMP server applicable? Yes, WAMP server is applicable if you already have it, but I will not advise you to download it right now. Initially, when I started learning web development, I was using WAMP. WAMP had a lot of challenges, a lot. Then, as I was watching YouTube, I stumbled upon people using Xampp. So I discovered that Xampp does not even have a lot of errors, provided you don't use conflicting software. So I deleted the WAMP, copied my files, then downloaded the Xampp and installed it, transferred my old files. Then it was a smooth journey, and I enjoyed up to now. So I would say Xampp, if you already have it, no problem. It means you have already gotten used to the problems that it comes with. and maybe your machine does not have any challenges. That is hope, but if you don't have it, I will not advise you to download it. So let's download this one right now. It is 151 MBs around there, 144, 148. Yes. So if you had bought bundles for class, you can utilize them by also downloading this software. So this is the first software. We only need two. The other one is very small. It should not worry you. So the second one is WordPress now. We need to download the software. So you go to wordpress.org. You write wordpress.org. It is the domain name. After you open, it has a very simple landing page or home page. So you click Get WordPress. There are two buttons, one on top, the other one on the center of the page. Get WordPress. So Get WordPress, you can see it is here. Download WordPress 6.3. You just click it and it starts downloading. Very easy. Both these two softwares, they are very easy to download. So it has started downloading. So this is the second software. So the first one is Xampp. The second one is WordPress. So the domain is wordpress.org. org. Jacinta, you are leaving and joining. You have a network problem. Jacinta, how are you? Jacinta, you are with us. So the link to download WordPress is already shared. By show of hands, how many have Xampp or have started downloading Xampp? So if you qualify for the either of the question, you can put your hand up. You either have Xampp or you are downloading. Ooh. Show of hands. Keep your hand up. Don't lower it until I say so that I can confirm. Keep your hand up if you have Xampp or you are already downloading it as we talk. Good. This is a good number. Continue with the hands. Don't lower your hands yet. Now, a polite question for the others. What might be the challenge? Or because I assume you should be having computers. So what might be the challenge? Or maybe apart from maybe network or internet connectivity, because maybe tomorrow you might be in an area covered by Wi-Fi, so you assume you can do it tomorrow. But now if you are not either on those, what might be the challenge? Hope you had WAMP. You have WAMP already. Hope. And guys, I advise you to use at least two names for the purpose of the register. Don't use your alias. Just use your two names that you use as your formal names, so that when I check it, I can also tick on the register. to see how many are here. So as much as this class is free, not everyone will graduate with a certificate because of attendance. Even in the university, you must attend 3/4 of the class. So if you are ready to go to the end, ensure absenteeism is not part of you. So thank you, guys. You can lower your hands. Now I need questions to those people I'm talking to. We start with Hope. I don't know if you are typing, and if your mic is okay, it's also good to talk. It will boost your confidence. So I currently have Xampp installed. Good. If you have Xampp, no problem. Have you been using it? Hope. My continues the data bandwidth to be used is large. Also, it can be a challenge to download it now. Provided tomorrow you love it while we have the class. I'm not rushing you. I just don't want you guys to ask me what software were we downloading yesterday. Now when we are getting ready to start tomorrow class. Let's avoid that, please. Let's avoid that, please. Okay, Stella, she's saying she'll download later. So guys, let's avoid the last minute rush. I'm just preparing you in advance so that you'll be comfortable in this class. And also, if you get challenges earlier, you can have room for questions. I was trying to learn Laravel framework, but Xampp wasn't working in my machine. Okay, so if Xampp was working, there's no problem. That is okay. I'm not limiting you. I just want you to have something that is working. So thank you, Hope. I have network issues, but I'll donate any time, daytime. Okay. So that is interesting. So we have now two softwares ready. So the second software is only like 20 MBs. Your network is not so bad. It should finish in no time. Yes. So I'm not like pushing you to finish by end of class. I just want you to have it and install it. And I believe most of us know the difference between downloading and installing. Don't download and let it sit there. That is not installing. That is downloading. After it has downloaded, go to the folder where it has downloaded and double click it or right click and choose install. So that is for those guys who don't know how to install. Don't download and let it sit there. That is not installing. We need the software running. So you download. After it has downloaded, double click or right click to choose the option to install. And if it asks you anything, just accept. Don't wait until the last minute. There's also people in the group who have downloaded. I've already downloaded the software. So if you might have any question even after the class, post the question there. Don't write the question to me directly. Also, others want to learn. So let the question be written on the group so that if anyone else that will have the challenge can be answered in advance. So I hope that is clear. And also, if you know the answer, I don't have to answer it, and someone like Mike or Hope knows the answer. You just answer because we are there to learn, all of us. Even I might learn something from you. It's not like I can't learn. So let's try to learn, all of us. So if you have any question, don't feel overwhelmed. Just type it on the group. That's why we created the group. It will help us to learn quickly on this short time. So I think that will be interesting. So